The recording has started.
Before the presentation starts, I would like to read the online accessibility statement, which serves as a reminder of resources available to our students. Your experience here at Southern New Hampshire University is important to us. It is our policy and practice to create an inclusive and accessible learning environment. If there are aspects of this event that present barriers to accessibility, please notify the Online Accessibility Center, OAC at snu.edu, or by phone 866-305-9430, or the Campus Accessibility Center, CAC at snu.edu, or by phone 603-644-3118 as soon as possible. Attendees may complete the OAC live captioning and live ASL interpreter request form and provide at least 1 week advance notice to coordinate event accommodations. I would now like to introduce you to your amazing speaker today, Melanie Schopp. Melanie Schopp is a SNHU adjunct faculty member and the Learning Community Facilitator for SNU 107 and SNU Connect. Her undergraduate degree is in Mass Communications and her graduate degree is in Counseling and Human Relations. She's been in higher education for over 16 years and has a huge passion for student success. Melanie always says that her 2 favorite days in higher education are the first day of classes and graduation day. She loves to work with students from the very beginning and to watch them grow and earn their degree. Outside of the classroom, she is a mom to 2 boys and wife to a motorcycle enthusiast. She has a huge passion for education, and some of her hobbies include reading, biking, hitting the beach, time with family and friends, and grabbing a great cup of coffee and exercise. So I'm now going to turn things over to Mel.
Well, hello, everybody. Can you all hear me okay? Happy Thursday. Happy leads session. I am just so excited to see all these names and faces. I'm imagining what all of you look like, and I'm so excited that you guys are here. So my session today is about time management. So tell me, are you here because you need some help with your time management? Are you feeling a little stuck, maybe a little overwhelmed? You can't just quite figure out how to get that calendar organized or how to find time for every single thing that is demanding your attention, right? Well, I'm going to tell you that you are not alone. Do you see all these people in the chat? You're not alone. And time management is something that we work on forever. It's never going to be perfect, but it can always get better. So today I'm going to talk about what we can do in 15 minutes and how to learn to manage time for your success. I want to start you guys with this comic. So that's probably aging myself because I don't call it a meme. It's a comic. Who else is from the comic area? Or the comic timeline, I guess. I love to read this out loud because I think this is a good one. How do they expect us to learn time management when every hour here feels like 3 hours, a week feels like a year, and then the weekends fly by in like 10 minutes? Does anybody feel that way? When you're doing something that you want to do, when you enjoy it, it's like the time just disintegrates and you don't know what happened. But when it's something that we don't want to do, something we put off, it feels like time is moving so slow and we just want it to go fast, right? So as I talk today, there's a couple of things I want you guys to keep in mind. One, I'm going to talk about time in this manner: committed time, maintenance time, and discretionary time. And I'm going to break down what that means here in a minute. But the other thing I want you to put into your brain, if you don't remember anything from today, I want you to remember this. You are the CEO of your life, okay? You are the person that gets to figure out where your time goes. Yes, we all have competing priorities. Yes, we all have all these things on our plates, but we all have the same 24 hours. So I want you to think about your time a little bit differently and put yourself in charge. Okay. Can we do that? Can we put ourselves in charge of our time, even for a minute? When I think about time, I look at these manners: committed, maintenance, and discretionary. If you had to guess, what do you think committed time might be? Like, what do you think this is? Tell me in the chat. I want to know. Pop quiz. I see typers. Yeah, right? Things that have to get done. So work is always on there, right? We got to work to live, right? But really we want to live. We want to just live, right? It's the things we have to do. So things like meetings, it's that work. It can be also that school time, maybe school is like your full-time thing, making sure we have that study time in there, right? But it's work, it's things we have to do. What about maintenance time? What do you think maintenance time might be if you had to guess? Ooh, Jennifer, good one. Sleep. Yeah. Sleep, eating. Yes. All the things like showering, eating, sleeping, like those things that we need to do to survive, right? And then what do we think about discretionary time? Guesses? I've seen some examples in here that fall right under discretionary time. Me time, free time, pedicure time. I want to go get a pedicure. You just reminded me of that. That sounds so amazing. It's that family time, that friend time, that hobby time, gaming, Netflixing, social media scrolling, whatever you enjoy doing, that is your me time. So if you had to think about the last few days, let's just do the last 4 or 5 days of your life, okay? Where did most of your time go? Tell me, where did it go? Was it committed? Was it maintenance? Was it discretionary? Lots of committed, right? If you could create your perfect world, where would you want it to go? Think about that for a minute. Where would you want it to go? Ooh, I love it. Oh, Justin, a mix of all three. That's how I am too. I like variety. Spice it up a little bit, right? For most of us, we want to spend our time doing things we want to be doing. And all of you are here either to get a degree, or you've gotten a degree, or you're trying to figure out how to manage your time in a way that works best for you. And if you think about it, those of you that are getting your degree, you're hoping to be in a career field where work doesn't feel like work, right? Like my husband is a motorcycle enthusiast. That's what he does every day. Work doesn't feel like work. Sure, sometimes it feels like work, but most of the time he's so passionate about what he does, it doesn't feel like work. Same thing for me. Like I love working with students, so it doesn't feel like work. I'm not dragging myself to get there, right? Where if it comes to laundry, like, no, thank you. I don't want to do that, right? So I want you to really think about how you could design your time, because we're all going to have things we're committed to. That's how life works. But we get to put those commitments in place, right? So I want you to repeat after me. I need to do what works best for me. Who struggles with this? Who struggles with putting themselves first when it comes to their time, right? Y'all are not alone, okay? But I need you to shift, change up your perspective, and think about you, because you're only going to be able to accomplish things and get things done if you're doing it in a manner that's going to work for you. So what does that mean? What does that mean, Melanie? I try to do that and it doesn't seem to be working. Tell me, how does this work? You got to think about how you learn best, okay? And this doesn't matter if you're in school, if you're a professional. You have to think about how you need to schedule yourself. So for example, I'm going to look at personality types, okay? How many of you guys have taken some kind of a personality assessment, either at school, maybe at work, maybe for fun? Anybody remember those little quizzes in like the magazines that used to tell you your personality type? I loved those. But I want you to think about your learning style. So for example, this is not all encompassing. Left brainers, they tend to be logical or solitary learners. Are you somebody that needs routine? You need structure. You need details. You need deadlines. Does any of that appeal to somebody in here? If there is something in your life that you don't have a routine for, you got to put a routine in place, whether it's home life, work life, school life, personal life, whatever it is, right? The littlest thing. It could be as easy as getting your kids up and getting them ready if you have kiddos at home. Like you got to find a routine, right? It makes you feel more organized, more productive. Or if there's something in your life right now that you don't have the details on, does that drive you? Like it makes you anxious. It makes you worried. Like, I don't know all the details. I don't know when that's due, right? So ask those questions. Talk to your boss, talk to your instructor if you're stuck on those details or those deadlines. Okay. So this is just something to think about. Most of us might be a mix of all the things, right? But take a minute. If there's a stressor in your life, it's taking your time because you're thinking about it. So if you're missing some details, you're missing that routine, you're missing that structure, let's put those things in place and find out the answers, right? Right brainers, typical personalities are social, verbal, okay? Focusing on a few things. Is that anybody in here? Like I'm that. If you give me a list of 10 things, you lost me at when you listed off number 3, okay? Like I have to be able to focus on a few things at a time. I get distracted by sparkly things, right? Writing things down. Oh, I saw Jennifer is like, I got to write things down. But the best part is crossing it off, right? I like Post-it notes and multicolored pens. Anybody else with me? Where my husband and friends of mine put things in like Google spreadsheets and calendars, and I have colored Post-its. Again, do what works for you, but crossing it off feels good no matter what personality you are, I feel like. I always share the example that a student years ago shared with me in a SNU 107 webinar. They actually are an oral learner. So they like to hear things. Like when they're studying, they listen to music. But their to-do list, they use their voice recorder on their smartphone. And they record their to-do list the night before they go to bed and listen to it throughout the day. Perfect example. Doing what works for you. I love the notebooks, you guys. I love the ideas of the whiteboard, the chalkboards, putting things on the refrigerator, putting things on the mirror. Who puts things in their phone, right? Oh, Daniel, there you are with alarms, right? I do that too. I have alarms for things to remind me. I was just chatting with a student yesterday about they put everything in their phone with alarms, those reminders. I do the same thing for like, get your kids off the bus, Melanie. Like, don't forget, right? So these are just examples and ideas. So when you're thinking about trying to organize your time, it shouldn't take very long. Take 15 minutes in your day and plan it out in a way that works for you. Put it in your phone, write it down on a Post-it, put it up on that whiteboard, put it in that pretty beautiful planner, whatever it might be, but take the time to do it. And that time to do it can take 15 minutes, right? Have you ever thought about that? It doesn't take very long. And it can organize your entire day and make you feel more put together, right? I love to share this image. I share this a lot in my SNU 107 classes and webinars too, because I think it just reminds us on the importance of planning, prioritizing, and scheduling ourselves. We have to organize our weeks, right? Does anybody do this? If you just kind of wake up on Monday and have no idea what's happening for your week, your wheels can fall off your bus, right? You got to have a plan. You need to know, like, if somebody's going somewhere, if you have appointments, when you work, when other people in your life work, if you are a student, when your assignments are due, are they different assignments? Are they the same assignments, right? It can be super, super hard. And for some of you, you work very different hours. It could be swing shift. It could be nights. It could be days. It could be depending on the time of the year. Maybe your work gets crazier than other times, right? So just, again, thinking ahead, taking the time maybe on Sunday or whenever your day to get organized is, and plan ahead, right? Scheduling study time. If you're an SNHU student or you're a graduate or you're a professional out there, we learn the hard way if we didn't study this time, right? Anybody learn that way? Like if you don't put that time on your calendar, remember, you're the CEO of your life. Schedule yourself accordingly. You pick what goes on that schedule, right? You pick it. Planning for crunch times, like I mentioned, this could be fun stuff, like maybe you get to go on vacation, that discretionary time, right? It could be busy season for school, busy season for work. Maybe you're having a baby, maybe you're getting married. There's things that happen in life, And planning ahead for those crunch times can make us feel a little bit more organized. Leslie, you're not alone. I would love to be a planner person, those beautiful planners, but I buy them and it's a waste of my money. Like it just doesn't work for me. I try because I'm trying to be like somebody else. But when I'm like me and use the Post-its, it works, right? So do what works for you. It's totally okay. Because if you're organized and you're put together, you're going to feel even better. That's what I always tell everybody. Figuring out your prime times. All right. Where are my early morning people? Where are you at? The ones that like to get up early, start your day. It just kicks off everything the right day, right? Right way. Or I like to call them nooners. Like you fit things in the cracks of your day, breaks at work, breaks at school, lunchtime, right? All those kinds of things. What about my evening folks? And then I got my night owls. If it doesn't happen after midnight, afternoon pigeon. Amber, I love that. I'm going to remember that. And then I got my night owls who are like turning in assignments at 2 a.m., right? You have to figure out though that time where you're most productive. And for many of you, there's probably other people in your life that kind of can, interrupt the flexibility of your schedule, right? I have little ones, if they don't sleep good, I don't sleep good, and I'm an early riser. So if I'm not up early, my whole routine is off. It's just how it works for me. Where like I have friends or family that they're like night owl people. But again, you have to do what works for you. Finding that time to unwind can reset you and recharge you for the next day. It's important. It can just be 15 minutes, right? Finding the time where you can, check that next assignment, get that next thing done, cross something off your list. Find the time where you can make it happen in a way that works for you. Breaking up tasks. Who likes to do this? When you have a big project in front of you, whether it's school, work, it could be even like something at your house. If you just dive in and try to get it done at once, it feels so overwhelming, right? Like a paper feels overwhelming. Maybe you're going to work in your flower gardens. Like for me, weeding, there's a lot of weeds out there. If I just go out there, it's overwhelming. But if I break it into smaller chunks, it doesn't feel so overwhelming, right? So remember that it can take 15-minute blocks of time to do a little here and do a little there, and you just eventually get that whole piece done, right? Okay, Everyelle, I love it. I work better under pressure. Some of us do. Some of us do. Other things is making that to-do list like we've talked about, right? Making those to-do lists in a way that work for us. Sleep. Who does not get enough sleep? I know many of you are like, what is sleep? I don't know what that is. But it's so important, you guys, to try to get that like 7 to 8 hours of sleep. It's incredible what the benefits can do for your brain and for your body. And I'm telling you, as somebody that likes to like always be running and doing something, when I was talked to about like my sleep habits, it changed things incredibly. You're able to focus better. You're able to just think better, more clearly. I love that. I sleep on the weekends, but something to consider, something to think about. And then exercise. Does anybody in here have some kind of an exercise routine? I'm not talking about, running marathons. If that's your thing, I love it. I'm not talking about hitting the gym every day. I'm just talking about even stretching, moving your body in a way that works for you. Right before I hopped on here, I took a 10-minute stretching class because it helps me just feel relaxed. Like it was 10 minutes. I got it done. I have a whole new mindset because I was kind of crabby. Does that happen to anybody? Exercising, stretching, moving your body, it creates those endorphins. It makes you happy, right? And you don't have to do anything major. It could be taking a walk around your house or your apartment. It could be getting outside. It could be stretching your body. It could also be things like swimming and hitting the gym. I like to bicycle. If the weather is nice, I like to get outside and ride my bike. I love that. Justin, shopping. You did get some walking in. Yes, there's ways to look at it, folks. There's definitely ways to look at it. But just think about for a moment how important your health is, right? Everybody says health is wealth because it is. If you can take those times, even 10, 15 minutes to just energize yourself, it makes a huge difference in your day. But I know you're still like, Melanie, this is great, but I still don't have the time. Well, folks, I got some hard truths for you, okay? You got to stop procrastinating. Where are you? Where are my procrastinators? This could be work stuff, school stuff, home stuff. I'm usually pretty good about not procrastinating, but when it comes to laundry, I will wash it, I will dry it, and it'll sit in that little basket until everybody's like, Mom, where's my clothes? Right? It is something that I put off, but folks, I'm not really putting it off because I'm still thinking about it. It's still in the back of my head. I'm still thinking about, I gotta get that laundry done. I gotta get that laundry done. It's taking my time, right? It's taking it. But once I get it done, oh my gosh, it's like so freeing, right? It's done. It's off the table. I don't have to think about it anymore. So if I just would have done the thing that I put off the most first, it would have made it feel like I had so much more time. Have you ever thought about that? So doing those things you put off the most, do it first. Just say no. Who has trouble saying no? Ooh, this is a tough one. We're people pleasers. We don't want to make anybody upset. Of course, we'll take on snacks for that soccer game. Of course. Yep. I will be there. I can be that greeter. I can do that. Yeah. Anybody sound like this? Jennifer, you are so right. It is so freeing when you learn to say the word no. And if you struggle with this, I want you to think about this. I heard this a long time ago, and it stuck with me. If you can say the word no, it protects your yeses. Does that make sense? Let me say that again. When you can say no, it protects your yeses. It allows you the opportunity to have time to do the things you really want to do. And it doesn't have to mean no forever. It doesn't have to mean no. It's just, no, not right now. It's not a priority in my life. Try saying that. Because if other people are taking your time, it's eliminating the things that you want to do and need to get done. Right, everybody? So think about that. Just try it. Try it one time. Once you say it once, it gets so much easier to say no more times. Does anybody else think that? I do. It was really hard for me to turn some things down. And then once I started doing it, I'm like, oh no, I don't have time for that. I protect my energy very, very clearly. And if it's not in my wheelhouse and I don't want to do it, nope, sorry. And I don't feel bad about it anymore. Justin, I am fluent in the word no. That's wonderful. We need to teach our other ones, right? But remember, folks, not every day is a perfect day. You got to remember just to be flexible with yourselves, be positive with yourselves, because there's going to be days and weeks maybe where your wheels just totally fall off your bus on this journey of life and things feel icky and sticky and it's just not going your way, right? But that's okay because you are worth to keep going, right? Your goals, your dreams, the things you want to do will push you forward, right? You're going to keep going. And you're the CEO of your life. You take a deep breath and you just keep going. You pave the way for the times that you want to have, right? Remember the importance of communication. Folks, if there's things in your life that you need those answers and those details with, or things are happening in life, this is the perfect time to communicate with your instructors. If you're a student, communicate with your leadership at your work, making sure that your people in your household know how they can help you and how they can support you, right? Sometimes you just need somebody for 15 minutes to maybe, if you have kids in your life, to watch the kiddos so you can get something done, or just communicate, open up those doors. Delegating. Does anybody do this at their house? We often tend to do a lot of delegation at work usually, but at home we can forget that especially if we have kiddos, that they can help do things like put away the dishwasher. You may never find the dishes in the right place again, but it's done and it's off your list, which enables you to do something else, right? Even helping with like meals or different things like that, or yard work, just things that open up other opportunities for you. They got to learn somewhere, right? So I encourage you guys to have those conversations. Preparing before, I kind of mentioned this earlier with like if your work season gets busier or you change hours, or maybe you have a baby coming or you're getting married, there's things that come up in life. And if we can prepare a little before, it helps everybody kind of come together and work towards that common goal. Oh my gosh, I love these things that are in here about delegation. Jennifer, I love that idea of everyone takes a turn cooking. I love that. Eventually my children will be old enough. I think they can maybe do peanut butter and jelly sandwiches right now, which, hey, I'd be okay because then I don't have to worry about it, right? And run the dishwasher twice. You guys are fantastic. I love all of this. Remember too, folks, we have hard truth right here. We've got to eliminate those distractions and time stealers. Who is on their phone a lot? scrolling, scroll. You think it was 10, 15 minutes, and oh gosh, it's been like an hour, right? Or maybe gaming or Netflix time or a really good book. I'm guilty of that. I get into a really good book and it's like everything else disappears, right? So you have to really, again, protect your time. I love some of these ideas. You guys have timers on your phone. Looking at that iPhone screen time. Ooh, yeah, that is really eye-opening. Paying attention, scheduling that gaming time, scheduling that TV time, and sticking to it. I have a lot of students that tell me that they use things like that Netflix show that they love as like reward time or family time when other things are done, right? Yes, 15 hours of gaming time can really steal a lot out of your 24 hours in that day, right? Same thing with work. A lot of us can bring work home, especially if a lot of us are working from home right now and that those virtual offices, it can feel like work never leaves. Maybe you're sitting at your kitchen table or dining room table or are lucky enough to have a space where you can shut the door. But sometimes I know I have friends and colleagues that work is always there because it's like right on their table. So how do we shut those things off? Because they can definitely become time stealers, right, everybody? And that's where sometimes we got to raise the flag and ask for a little bit of help or assistance so that we can get things done or set timers for ourselves. It doesn't take very long to do it. And of course, last but not least is using your resources. Here at the university, gosh, you're never alone. If you are an employee, there is so much training and so much leadership and colleagues to reach out to for questions. If you're a student, oh my goodness, the advising team is amazing. Our academic support team is amazing. There's just all the resources that are out there, plus your family and your friends and all the things that we have in our life, right? So just remember, you're the CEO of your life, right? So what can you do in 15 minutes to keep yourself on track? What do you guys think? What's one thing you can do or you want to do that you can do today, that you can start? I'd love to hear the ideas because 15 minutes can really make an impact. You don't have to spend hours putting things in a planner, right? I love these. We got some meditation time on here. Oh, that is awesome to hear. That is such a good way to take care of yourself. Making yourself a to-do list. I love it. Making an agenda. These are perfect things. Ooh, bedtime on your iPhone is a great idea. Preparing, stretching. Yes, see? Just little things. Dinner ideas for next month. Yeah, like look at that. Gas in your car, hot shower. You guys are awesome. These are such great things that are going to make you feel even more productive. And it doesn't take very long. Oh, kid and playtime. Oh, that's so sweet. There's all those things. Stay on top of laundry. Yes, that's a good one. Get it done and it's off your list. Seeing how many things you can cross off quickly. Oh my gosh, folks, these are awesome. But it makes a difference and it doesn't need to take all day. And it just can change your entire trajectory of the week, right? So before I get ready to leave you guys, I want to leave you guys with one of my most favorite quotes by Harvey Mackay, because when I heard this, it really changed my perspective on time. Time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. And once you've lost it, you can never get it back. So spend your time wisely. Your goals are so important, and you are worth having the opportunity to have yeses in your day. So remember, you are completely worth this. You got this, and it only takes 15 minutes. That's all I got today, folks. I am so appreciative of you guys being here. We're going to have a Q&A session, but I just want to take a minute and tell you guys, just thank you all so much for investing in you and attending this session, attending the lead session. I encourage you just to get involved in your practice, your profession that you're in. If you're a student, get involved here at SNHU. But just remember,
Melanie, thank you. I always love your energy and your tips, and I walk away every single session that I get to do with you with something to try and embrace. So Melanie's going to turn on her camera, and we are now going to use the chat box to ask questions, share reflections. Just a reminder, the session is being recorded for future viewing. We will do our very best to answer as many questions as we can. Please use the chat box, and I will read those questions to Melanie as they come in. We have a few people typing. We're hearing a lot of they love your energy, which I do too. It brightens my day. Thank you, Melanie. You're such a great motivator. From when I first started at SNU, a lot of people have attended your SNU webinars and saying they miss having them in their other courses, which is great. First question that we have was, what was the one thing you learned to live without to make more time?
You guys are so sweet. I so love being live with students. It's so exciting. So thank you guys so much for all the very kind words. One thing that I learned to live without is being so hard on myself. I really learned about the importance of flexibility because I'm a perfectionist. And so when I was trying to do everything perfectly, it tended to end in disappointment. So I had to learn to let go of being perfect and remember that progress is what is going to help bring me to the opportunities and time that I needed.
I love that. Thank you. Justin says, I use my phone calendar for appointments. Is there anything I absolutely should add, like school time and
Say that
activities
it's
to that?
what works best for you. So if you're somebody that uses your phone for those appointments, schedule your time in there. Your phone is always with you guys, right? We always have it with us. So if you can add things in there, they're going to remind you that, hey, I got to study, or hey, I got to get this project done. Put it in there because that might just be the trick that gets you focused and organized and keeps you on track with what you need.
Perfection. Marielle asked, how do you go about
Cuddle
organizing
that
your
baby and
time
you
with a new
snuggle that
baby?
baby. As a mom of a 10 soon to be 10-year-old and almost a 7-year-old, those newborn moments and baby moments go so quickly. But I will tell you that you start small. You know, what is the one or two things that you really want to get done in a day? And if you're in school, making it a priority to find the time when baby is napping or when somebody that might be home to help you with baby can take baby so you can focus, even if it's that 15-20 minutes in various times like throughout the day. Those little chunks add up to help you accomplish your to-do list. But give yourself grace and flexibility because those newborn moments go really fast.
Very, very true. Thank you. Alana asked, can you share a bit more about how you prioritize between large tasks?
That's a great question. There are so many competing priorities, I feel like, in all of our days, right? So when we have these larger tasks, I look at the deadlines. So I find out if I don't know when is something is due, I'm going to find out and I'm going to prioritize on getting done first what is due first. In saying that, if there is a project or a large task that is definitely out of my wheelhouse, something I 100% completely do not want to do, I very much try to get that one done first because if I don't, I'm going to put it off and be a frazzled hot mess trying to get it all together. Okay. So pick what is due first so you can get it done. But if you know there's something that you're really going to put off and procrastinate, get it done first because then it's going to motivate you to get the easier ones or the ones you're looking forward to done and done right.
Perfect. Dominic asked, any tips for a first-time
Welcome
remote
to
student?
remote education and welcome to SNHU. Be excited. That is one of my top tips with you is be excited for this journey. But you have to schedule out your study time. You need to not only schedule it in whatever way works for you, but you have to stick to it. Students that don't make the time to sit down and look through their assignments or work on their SNH2 items struggle. They fall behind. So make sure you find that time, but also communicate for your success. This means if you're not sure on something, you're have questions, get with your amenities like your faculty, your advisor, because they can really help you navigate for your success to stay on track. And good luck, because this is going to be an amazing journey and you're going to love it.
Perfect. Keisha asks, I lost my job of 20 years at the beginning of the pandemic. It's been hard to get my routine and mojo back. What suggestions do you have for getting back on a routine?
That is such a good question. And you're not alone in that. And I know that it kind of takes us back a minute and takes our breath away. But start small. What is one thing that you could do every day that's going to start to formulate that routine? It could be something as simple as getting up and taking a walk around your neighborhood. If you're looking for a job, maybe you're spending so much time, job searching or updating your resume. If you're an SNHU student or alumni, get with our career team. They are going to help you make some connections, update some things. You just want to connect and start small. So pick those things in your day that are going to keep you moving and things you can do every day, because that's going to start you in that routine. And remember to take a big old deep breath, and remember it's going to be okay, because when one door closes, another one opens, and it's usually a lot more better.
Amazing. We have great questions coming in. Thank you, everyone. What suggestions do you have in motivating those around you?
I love surrounding myself with people. However, you have to surround yourself with people that are going to push you to be your best self. And you might have those in your life that don't seem to be motivated, but only they can make the decision to get motivated. So what you can do is be an inspiration. Share what you're doing. Be excited about what you're doing. And eventually they're going to see you for what you're really doing and be like, if they can do that, I can do that. So be their source of inspiration. If you're on them and constantly telling them like, you should do this, you should do that, it might just push them further away, because only they can decide when they're going to get up and get going and do their things. But you can encourage by leading by example.
Leading by example. I love that. That's important. Recommendations for setting up a daily routine. I know a morning and night routine is very important, but I struggle setting up a routine that works for me.
Think about your best times. Maybe morning and night isn't your best time, and that's okay. Maybe it's afternoon, maybe it's over the noon hour. You have to find what works best for you. I'm somebody that gets up early in the morning. My significant other sleeps until 9 or 10 because he works way later hours. So that works for him. You kind of got to do your own thing and, experiment with times and experiment with routines. Try one thing, don't overwhelm yourself, and just find that time that like, hey, this is what works best for me. And so I'm going to keep this in my pocket as I work to organize my time. Don't try to be like anybody else. And don't try to like lead this perfect example of what a routine should look like. Just start small, one thing at a time, and you'll get there.
Thank you. Stephanie says, I work 2 jobs and struggle with making time for school assignments. I also am the grandmother of 4 girls and have a huge issue making time for them. How can I get through the day? What do you recommend?
Great question. And I know that there are so many of you guys that work so many hours, plus you have loved ones that are in your life. So you really kind of have to sit down and look at your hours for your work and figure out, when you're going to be able to have that sleep and downtime for you that's so crucial for your success. But again, start small. Block off 15 minutes here to do some of your work. Block off 15 minutes there. If you can block off 15 minutes 3 times a day, that's 45 minutes. I bet you can have a discussion post and peer responses done in one day, right? Also, doing things earlier in the week versus later in the week, if you can, help set your week up for success. So when that weekend rolls around, if you're off work and those grandkids are out of school, you get to have that time with them. But start small. Start with one thing at a time and plug in those cracks of time where you can get things done in a way that's going to help you be productive earlier in the week.
Perfect. This appears to be the final question, but if anyone does have any other questions, we probably have time for one more after this one. So type it in the chat and we'll be sure to grab it. It says, how can I say no when there are people depending on me to say yes? Powerful question.
Really powerful question. But you also have to think about, why are they depending on you to say yes? Is it more for them or is it for you? So it can be hard, right? Saying no to people that we love and that are in our life is very difficult. And usually it's our loved ones that we have the hardest time saying no to. So get the details. Find out, why do they really need you to do this? Is there anybody else that might be a better fit? Does it fit with your goals right now? Do you really have the time to take it on? Because if there's four people that you think need a yes from you, maybe you can only pick two. So, which two is it? Find out the details. And remember, it's you that gets to control that time. Don't give your time away because you only have 24 hours. Do what you really want to do. Protect those yeses.
Perfect. What a great question to end on, too. It looks like what we have coming in now is just really thanking you for the information that you shared today. I think there are tools that each one of us can take from this. So thank you, Mandy, and thank you, Melanie, for attending and participating in today's session. Please review the virtual program that we are going to pull up so you can see the other lead sessions. Be sure to look for Melanie in this new Connect community. And we appreciate your time and your participation at Leads. Melanie, thank you for always being so passionate and powerful and empathetic to our students. You are a gift, and we're grateful to have you.
Thank you guys so much for having me at Leads. Everybody, I wish you guys the best rest of your week, the best weekend. And I would love to know what you all are doing in those 15 minutes. So I hope you had a great session. Go check out the other lead sessions. Invest in you. You got this. Have a great weekend, everybody. Good night. Goodbye, not good night. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Melanie. At this time, we'll stop the recording.